The Texas Rangers bats leave no doubt early. They take a commanding 3-1 lead in the World Series. Corey Seager, second straight World Series game with a home run. The only other shortstop to ever do that was Derek Jeter. First shortstop in World Series history with 3 home runs in one series. Possibly the fourth time a 2-time World Series MVP. Are we counting our chickens a little too early there? Maybe, maybe not. The Rangers scored 10 runs with 2 outs in the first 3 innings. That is their 10th straight road win in the postseason. That's the most ever. And the Rangers are now 10-0 when scoring first in the postseason. Thank you to this great Sarah Langs for most of those nuggets. We've got that and lots more to talk about now here on the Texas Rangers Clubhouse. Hey there, my name is Jeff Bates of the Texas Rangers Clubhouse, where we talk about the Texas Rangers about to win the freaking World Series for the first time ever. I am in Cloud 9. Wow. I feel blessed. I've been a Dodgers fan my whole life. I was born in LA. I moved to San Diego. My grandma was a Dodgers fan. She was a Dodgers fan before I was born, and she was a Dodgers fan when I was a 7-year-old boy, when the Dodgers had an infield of Garvey and Lopes and Russell and Say. Dusty Baker was out in left field. Reggie Smith was out in right field. Steve Yeager was the catcher. That's how long I've been a baseball fan, and I was a Dodgers fan. I moved out here to Texas 12, 15 years ago, whatever. I watched the Rangers a couple times in the World Series. I watched Nelson Cruz come so close. They wouldn't have got there without Nelson Cruz, but they didn't get to the promised land because of Nelson Cruz. It is what it is. And I truly became a Dodger fan or a Rangers fan the last few years. I live here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and this is just so much fun. This is the first year I became a season ticket holder to the Rangers. I was excited when they signed Bruce Bochy. I'm a big Bruce Bochy fan. I've been planning a Bruce Bochy, Torey, Lovullo, the 2 managers of the World Series connection to me video, but there's just been too much good stuff going on. I haven't had a chance to get to it. But when Bochy signed as the Rangers manager, I'm like, that might be time for me to trade in my hat. Dodgers to Rangers. I'm a huge Bruce Bochy fan, which again, I'll explain to you sometime in the future. Then the night they signed Jacob deGrom, I became a season ticket holder. For the first time ever in my life, I always wanted to be, and it has been so much fun as I've left my childish things behind and came into, the Texas Rangers. It was so easy to become a Rangers fan. I love the organization. I love the team. I love the players. And I've mentioned before, Corey Seager came over, and boy, was it easy for me to become a Rangers fan that day, as he's my favorite player. So much fun this year, and it is about to pay off with unbelievable timing for me, the Rangers' first World Series of all time. Now, it's not over yet. They're on the verge of their first title, but a couple teams, we'll get to who's come back from 3-1 here in a minute. Let's talk about yesterday's game. Heaney, I've been an Andrew Heaney fan for years. Again, he was one of those Dodgers who came over here. He's been on a few teams. He was with the Angels. He was an early first-round draft pick. I'm a big Andrew Heaney fan, and boy, was it nice seeing him come through last night. It's good for him and his career. It's good for the Rangers, of course. And Jankowski, I'm a fan of his too. My goodness. He's been out there in left field a lot this year. Obviously, he hasn't started since, I think, early September in any game in Major Leagues. And with Adalis going down yesterday, of course, we didn't want to see that. But Travis, is he Adalis Garcia? No, it's a whole different game. But he's really good. He's really good in the outfield defensively. He doesn't have the same arm as Adalis, obviously. But he's really good defensively, and boy, can he hit. Again, not with the power, but boy, does he have the speed. And boy, did both of those 2 guys come through. It was good to see. Taking a look at the box score, you can see who got all the multiple hits. Josh Young with 3. You can see Heaney there with the start. That box score is beautiful. There's a lot of people to talk about. Really, when you score 10 runs in 3 innings, pretty much you could talk about everyone. It was an amazing game. It was an unbelievably fun game to watch. And now we've got one more. And tonight could be the night. I picked Nathan Eovaldi to be the MVP. He didn't have his greatest start ever in game 1, so that's probably not going to happen. But my 1A was Corey Seager, and that will probably happen if we can win tonight. Dallas hit the walk-off, but he's not even playing anymore, and Corey hit the big home run that preceded the walk-off, and he's just had an unbelievable series since then. You could talk about a lot of guys, but it's going to be Corey Seager if they win tonight, assuredly. But Eovaldi versus Gallen is a great matchup, and if Eovaldi pitches the way I expect him to pitch, this series is over tonight. Let's look at the last 5 from Nate Eovaldi and Zach Gallen. So Nate Eovaldi's had a bunch of good starts. Last time 4 2/3, 5 was by far his worst. It was against Arizona. It was here in the World Series. But you can see against Houston, 2 really good starts. Against Baltimore, he was brilliant. Against Tampa Bay, he was brilliant. I expect him to be very, very good today. Now let's take a look at Zach Gallen. And it's a different story entirely. His last start out, 5 innings, 3 earned runs. That's probably the median. That's probably what the expectation is. And I think if that happens, we win today. His 2 starts against Philly, not so great. 6 innings, 5 earned runs, 6 innings, 4 earned runs, 5 innings, 5 earned runs. Before that, the Dodger game, 5 1/3, 2, and against Milwaukee, 6 2. Both better games in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. My point is Zach Gallen's really, really good. I think it's not so much about Zach Gallen tonight as it is about the Rangers offense. Zach Gallen is filthy. Zach Gallen was going to be the Cy Young Award winner. He had a really, really good year. These are the 2 pitchers that we talked about for the All-Star game, Zach Gallen and Nate Eovaldi. Zach Gallen did start, and Nate Eovaldi, I think he was the second pitcher for the All-Star game. Regardless, these guys had great first halves, great seasons, but Zach Gallen's been trailing off a little bit. Now let's, maybe for the last time, probably for the last time this year, take a look, one last look at Fangraphs. You know I love Fangraphs if you're a veteran of this channel. 87%, yeah, I'll take that. That's beautiful. I just wanted to put it up there because I use it a lot. Obviously, when it's this high, it's in the end of the World Series, and that's just pretty to see. 87% chance to win the World Series according to Fangraphs. That's beautiful. So the series isn't over by any means. 6 teams have come back from being down 3-1. Last time it was the 2016 Cubs. They did it to Cleveland. Before that, it was the 85 Royals. I remember that one well versus St. Louis. And you can see a few times it's happened. Is it likely? No. Is it rare? Yes. Could it happen? Sure. But what and we got to talk about this. The real key, and I really love Torey Lovullo. I really, really do. But I think the key to this World Series has been he's made some mistakes, let's put it that way. And they've been about Corey Seager. Chris Bassett, stud major league pitcher, tweeted out this. And I agree with it wholeheartedly. Arizona refuses to pitch around Corey Seager with the bases wide open, and Seager just continues to make them pay. Literally makes 0 sense. That's what I said when I was on the couch. My son-in-law was to my left. My wife was to my right. My sister was over there. She's out here visiting from California. And I said, I don't know if anyone were listening. I said, what are they doing? And bam! Corey I don't get it. I'm happy. Thank you, Torey. I don't get it. And I've heard some stuff that, I think people defending him, and maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong. Of course their play was to not let Corey Seager beat him. I mean, as good as Evan Carter is hitting behind him, he's a rookie. You're going to go after Evan Carter way before you're going to go after Corey freaking Seager. Or whoever's Mitch Garver, whoever's behind him, you're going to go after that guy instead of Corey Seager. So I'm going to assume it's on the relief pitchers and the pitchers in general more than Torey Lovullo, but wow, that's been a huge mistake. And I think the real question, frankly, is what's going to happen tonight. And, well, I'll leave the last question for last, but it's coming here shortly. My prediction for tonight, a World Series title. I think 7-2. I think the Rangers get to Gallen. I think they get to him in the 3rd or the 4th inning, the second time through the lineup. And I think Nate Eovaldi just has to go 5 or 6 without giving up 3 or more, and we win this game. I really do. I think it's set up well. I think Eovaldi has to be above average, not great. I think the offense has to be what it is. Unless Zach Gallen just comes out and deals. If he is even a above average version of himself, I think we win the game. I think the offense is just too much. Simeon and Seager and Carter and Garver and Jonah and Young. It's too much. And it's exciting, and it's a 7-2 win tonight. Game 5 is the end. We win in 5. I predicted in 6, but I said in the video, I think really 5, but it felt arrogant, so I said 6. It is what it is. Last question, the question of the day, the question that matters the most. Are you ready? Here it comes. Where the heck is the parade? Is it in Fort Worth? Is it in Dallas? Is it in Arlington? I don't know. I'll probably do a video on it. Maybe I'll do a video on that tonight. If we win, I'm so excited. Let me know. Where are you watching the game? Are you having as much fun as me? Do you think they're nuts for pitching to Corey Seager? And have you subscribed yet? Thank you so much to all of you who have followed me during this journey. The Rangers have made this a blast. You've made it a blast. I think we win tonight. Rangers in 5, 7-2 tonight. Eovaldi with the win. Seager with the MVP. Thanks for watching. Have the best day ever. See you tomorrow. Go Rangers.